My interns asked me to answer some questions today regarding business, and so I'm going to call this the Braathe 3. Three questions I will answer in about a 5-minute period to talk to you about suggestions when it comes to management and leadership. One of those questions was, how do you encourage creative thinking? And I would say the best thing you can do to encourage creative thinking is not to have meetings to discuss creativity. Let people have their own time each day to be creative, kind of work on their own, maybe create a discussion board. We use Basecamp for online discussions, and that's a great way to make sure people are creative, to give them the space to have the freedom to work on things versus trying to put people into a room and be creatively that way. Their second question was, what is one characteristic that you believe every leader should possess? And I would say stamina. Certainly that's not the only one, but you need to have kind of that moxie and that ability to deal with anything that comes your way. Stamina means sleeping well, it means eating well, it means being able to have the fortitude to deal with things in difficult times. A good example is right now it's finals week for many of the colleges that we work with, and a lot of the students panicking as usual that we've got to get an A, we've got to get an A, and the professors don't do a great job of encouraging creativity when it comes to how to assess students at the end of the semester, and very often default to a token 100-question multiple choice test that's done in a dingy room. I prefer longer term projects and presentations at the end of the term to assess if a student has done well. But I think whether it's final exam week, a busy holiday season, or really any situation where you need to be at your very best, having the stamina and knowing how to build it up, through good exercise, good sleep, and the ability to manage your tasks better, not necessarily your time. I think so many people get focused on time management that they don't look at all the energy they're putting into something, and as a result end up wearing themselves out. The last question for today, the most useful resources you would recommend to someone looking to get a better perspective into what it takes to become a leader. Read. I'm always reading. Right now I'm reading a great book by Walt Robb, a retired GE executive, about taking risks. I'm also reading a book called Launch, about how to launch effective email marketing campaigns. But some of the best books I've read have been Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi, learning how to network better. The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss, in terms of, again, not focusing so much on how much time you're putting in, but using resources that are available. And magazines. I have a pile on my desk behind me here, and some of the things that I have on there include Fast Company magazine, Inc. magazine, the latest Albany Business Review, and spend a few minutes each day, whether it's at the beginning of the day or the end of the day, or as time allows, reading a chapter from each of the books I'm looking at, as well as reading a few pages of the magazines that I receive in the mail. Also, go to guest lectures, go to free talks. You can learn so much perspective by going to events. Here in the Capital Region, we have Startup Grind, we have Startup Tech Valley, we have Saratoga Tech Talks, and we have a number of other events where informally you get to meet people. One of the ones I like to go to is the Saratoga Tech Out, which is a meeting of minds, the creative and technical worlds. And there's really no formal content to it, just some great networking and conversation. So those are my answers for today. I encourage you today to take a look and go to braatheenterprises.com and search for Task Management Template to help you manage your time better. It's a free download. Just give us a little bit of your information, and that will allow you to plan out your week better and manage your time and energy to a better level.